bitch, I fucked up with my girl and now I'm drinking, yeah, yeah. No one knows sometimes they don't know what I'm thinking, yeah, yeah.
Represent Hawaii, say mahalo to your partner. Everybody knows.
Yo, patient, LCE. Come here. Looking at this makes me glad I'm Asian. Instead of some man who's wasting his emancipation by masturbating to animation.
Just one with the full down, whatever you will ever like. What you apply to the full crunk down, hit the red button, watch it suck it like it was a pacifier or an atomizer around my spine with violence spasms that are reborn. Get older. It's in my mind now. I ain't never switching over, man. I tried that. All I got was accumulation in the mind's eye. All of a sudden, mass supremacists on my timeline. All of a sudden, people overestimate my pulpit.
Kelly Betz has a secret podcast. I'm joined today in secrecy, bonded in secrecy with
Eiji Kwan. Everybody knows Alex, still here, still living, still trying to finish my novel.
still here, and here is Hawaii right now.
Yes, exactly. I've some family things came up. I am here quarantining for a couple weeks at a good friend's house. One of my best friends, a couple of my best friends that I've known since like 7th grade or so, and we've just been jamming. They have like a whole little lab setup over here. It looks like fucking chaos right now, but there's the drums, there's the things, whole bunch of stringed instruments, Casio, fucking.
That's how
what
you
more
do
could
it.
you want? Got a piano behind me.
It's crazy that is the environment you're in, because the first question I wanted to ask is like more of a statement, and it's, you're known for rapping, but you can sing like a motherfucker.
I can carry a little tune.
Taking is always here to take. Oh, and I know if I'm going crazy, she won't stop me. Nah, and I know if I'm going crazy, she won't.
Well, I'll tell you what you can do is, you know where to put the spaces. Like, you can harmonize with yourself.
Yeah, and that can pretty it up. That'll dress the turkey.
Oh yeah. You got character, and then you can do the harmonies. And between that, like, you only have a few songs where you're singing, but every time I hear it, I'm like, it could just be this. You know, like,
Oh, shucks.
you don't gotta do all that rapping.
Oh, there's some, and the thing is, Fat Soul is not a rap group. I don't know what it is. It's like a psychedelic folk band. Like,
Cool.
I may have mentioned that I used to have a psychedelic folk band, and I guess I do again.
When did the battling come into that? Was there stuff you were seeing on like the internet, or was there?
Yes.
How did that happen?
There was, okay, so shouts out to fucking ripthemic.net or whatever the fuck. Back in like 2001, I discovered like text battling or something, and fucking ripthemic.net eventually bombed out. But then I found rapmusic.com, but then I realized that there was an entire subsection devoted for like battles across the country and stuff that people are actually doing live. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I noticed that like the West Coast in particular, the Bay Area, was really fucking like killing shit around the time I started to get really interested in it in 2004, 5, and 6. There was like when the Source and all them went to Scribble in 05 and shit, the Source versus Justice and all that shit. Like, that was one of the first battles I saw on YouTube, and I was just like, oh, these people are machines. And
Other level.
yeah, and like there was and around that time, sometime after that, I did my first rap battle in 2006. Lucked out. There was only 8 members in it, 8 people in the pool or something like that, and then like I won it. And oh wait, no, there was one before that, but I didn't get past the topic round. But then the second one after that, in 2006, I won. And then this establishment called O Lounge, which would hold club nights, devoted the first Friday of every month to like this more hip hop themed joint with the MC battles at the end of the night. And I would just win $100 every month. That's how I started drinking. Like, I would be like 17, 18 years old in there, and fucking eventually they got so used to seeing me that they were just like, hey, EK, we want to drink. I'm like, oh.
Yo, check this stop. Yo, look at this broke motherfucker over here. His name is Chris Styles, but he can't afford beer. You start troubling when you fucking rap, I can see your balls and double chins. The fuck's up with that? You know I kill you, motherfucker. I'll prove the blood spills blue. I'm about to fucking have Chris Styles leaving. He sucks so much dick that he shits out semen. Fuck that, you need lots of help. His fat ass can lactate chocolate milk. The fuck's up with this guy? I don't never see Joe Moment out the guy who is the man.
Let's talk about your run at Scribble. Your run was crazy. I guess I'd really seen it in pieces, and then to look at it in the like perspective of like we'll be talking about your career. I'm like, dude, you'd really never made like a national appearance before, and you beat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Awkward, Phrases, and Kid Twist.
Fuck, you don't have guns to clap. You look like a fucking understrapped lumberjack. What the fuck? He works at McDonald's in the back, trying to hide chicken wraps underneath his titty fat. Fuck, I don't understand this first round. You get burned down. You're getting served clowns. I will press my erection through your girl's wet hymen section and make a West Side connection.
On the West Side Connection, you came up with fucking transvestite convention. Listen, I may have a stuttering, doesn't really matter, you a fucking bitch sucking dick. Your style is fire, I see how this crouching tiger shouting fighter does without his wires. Not gonna work, please, I'm inserting you in your hood. Motherfucker, fuck this Hawaiian asshole. Why don't you go rhyme battle a pineapple? Motherfucker, that's the way it is. I please and I handle my being.
Motherfucker, I come through when I'm stabbing y'all. I'm digital and yo analog. I'm about to jab this hog with the cattle prod. He doesn't have a job because he's Santa Claus.
You're wildin' out, so how you feel? I got the skill. Matter of fact, yo, I'm hot and ill, so I will hit you. Your hair needs shampoo. This is a fucking piece of bamboo.
Yo, I'm the guy you should freaking thank. He jumps around like he's motherfucking Billy Blanks. Look at this dancing guy. He does jazzercise to try audition for the Jackson 5. What the fuck? Are you Tito? I don't know. You got a weak flow. Oh, pobrecito. What the fuck? This guy will not win against me. Don't test me. You shake like epilepsy.
What was that like? Did you just feel overwhelmed the whole time, or?
Well, not the whole time, but then there were points where when I got like I'd hit walls, you know, like Kid Twist was a wall, No Can was a wall, where I was like, what am I even doing here? That's crazy, and I got too caught up in thinking like, wow, that's crazy, and meanwhile I'm getting bodied in real time.
What the fuck? I wanna come through and see next. I don't gotta be fresh to be Ryan Seacrest. How's this guy gonna rip? I don't understand it though. You got the wackest flow. Your shit is straight vaginal. This motherfucker wants to rip. No, he wants to look fucking gay in his fur coat. I'm fucking falling off, but you can see later. You have fucking 3 layers of clothes. I'm fucking shook and froze. You need to shave your hair because you look like a hoe. What the fuck? Nah, the time's not up yet. You like to fucking go to the gay male fuck fest.
You don't come through with dope spitting. You say that you're falling off. No kidding. Because in that round you're fucking rhyming suck. I should give this tiny punk a Hawaiian punch. He fucking pretty stuck with no bra. And then bust in her face like aloha.
I feel like compared to the rest of the battling scene, you hit the like vibing thing way before everybody else.
I try.
Well, compared to the battle scene at least, you know what I mean? Which is still like a few years behind like what like the kids are doing or whatever, but like what's the name of your full album that took a while to get mastered?
Thought-O-Tune?
Yeah, Thought-O-Tune.
Thought-O-Tune.
You sent me like an unmastered version of that, just like in an email, like mass email, like, and I felt real cool. But man, I was just playing that like every day, and it was like the shit that the kids are playing, you know? And I was, and like, man, flash forward, whatever, 4 years, and it's like that's how you rap. Yeah. Like things changed so quickly that if you're not doing triplets, like you're doing this retro backpacker thing.
Yep,
and,
exactly.
It's wild how quick you were. And then I think what's happened since then, this is just my perception I'm sharing, is like You've doubled down. You're like, oh, we're vibing? I can vibe harder. I can mumble more incoherently than you.
Than anyone.
Whole country knows that I'm on it. My team knows I pull a roast beef out the pocket, yeah. Middle shell so grown and hydroponic, yeah. I'm working with you, this ain't working out. I got superficial reason I heard about. Move around cause it ain't ever working out. Move around till I'm burning out of mind. It wasn't the mushrooms, it wasn't the Zans, it wasn't the Endos, it wasn't the trans, wasn't the coke, it wasn't a lot of the tour and the top of the Oakland high.
Ghostface Killah once said, who knows what I'm saying?
That's it.
Do you know what you're saying?
Yeah.
How do like we were talking in the chat on your stream when you were playing those unreleased songs?
Yeah.
There was definitely some bangers in there, but I said something like, I was like, tell me why every line, I'm like, I don't know what he's saying. Also, I feel it super hard. Like, you know,
dude. Well, don't worry, you're not the only one, because like I fucking like when I write my lyrics down, like I know what I'm talking about. I know what it means.
I am not turning on these lights by any means. I will not comply till you got your eye on that pan. Don't try to pass full of peanut oil. You're allergic to fucking die.
Do you think you're doing like did you read a bunch of Kerouac when you were younger? Like, are you doing a stream of consciousness thing, or what it like, or you're just not willing to slow down for yourself even, or how do you see it?
It's a little of both. I definitely I didn't grow up reading a bunch of Kerouac, but when I did get a couple of those comparisons, and I started like kind of dipping in and stuff, and that definitely reinforced what I was doing. It definitely pushed me to continue being all stream of consciousness and stuff, and that's that quote. I don't know what he's saying, but I get it. I've heard that before, so I was just like, you know what, that works for me. Like, and I feel like that sort of mystery or ambiguity of like, I don't know, leaving it sort of allows you to leave it up to interpretation and stuff like that. And,
yeah, totally. I don't know what it is, but I'm able to project a lot of my own experiences into your lyrics and go, yeah, it's exactly this. It's exactly what you're talking about this. When it's that, you know?
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I've had feedback like that, similar to that, and it's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling to be able to put out something that resonates with people.
A couple of minutes from first and I'll be a satire come November. I'll work my craft and slang my dope. The dope is a moving epicenter. Another 2 weeks and I'm going home.
I was gonna ask about your book writing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have a novel that was out and it was about the election?
Yeah. It was a snippet of this. It was like a snippet of this book that I wrote back in like 2014 to 15 when I was the first time I was living in San Francisco proper, and I was doing a bunch of canvassing work for my another friend from back home in Hawaii and stuff. Always cherish your friends, because that's how you catch the lucky breaks in life, by having people that have your back and stuff, and that have had your back for a hell long. But anyway, lion ass motherfucking company that I was working for, they were like, yeah, we're a nonpartisan canvassing strategies company and whatever. Anyway, I would go around, get signatures and stuff, and at the end of the campaign, turns out they were giving it to the DNC or whatever. And I'm just like, what? Well, I'm like, fuck Trump, but fuck Hillary too, man. Like, fucking fuck that. I just thought you lied to me. But anyway, it was just me. The novel is just me bitching about that and the build up leading to the election. And like, there's this whole mood, like this whole foregone conclusion almost, that like, you know, oh, Hillary's going to win the election and shit, and fucking, we'll just have to deal with the fucking banality of evil and all that shit. And but then Trump won, and like the book cuts off like around then, like right after the actual election. The snippet that I posted was kind of like a fever dream sequence, you know what I mean? That involved like fucking Bill, Hillary, and Trump in Gundams fucking fighting each other, and then they perform a satanic ritual, and then start filling the concert hall that this whole inauguration ceremony is held in shit and liquid diarrhea, and I'm drowning in liquid diarrhea. And then anyway, fucking, so that's what that snippet is about. I have one review on that Kindle book, or that little Kindle passage, and it's just from some dude. He's like, this is fucking liberal brainwashing garbage, you fucking snowflake, get over it, you fucking hate speech. I'm like, I like those reviews. I want more of them. And fucking right now it's and then there's also the current book that I'm working on, the one that I might have been telling you about. It's called Zoonotic. It is just like about people being stupid in the lead up to fucking the COVID epidemic as it is, like just like slice of life vignettes and things like that, but on the way they expose like how just the weird shit people think about during situations like these. Like the GM of the hostel that I work at fucking thinks that it's 5G. He's like, fucking, yo, why don't you all come over to the hostel and have a painting party and shit? We'll get herd immunity like Germany or whatever. And I'm just like, oh shit. But just people being weird, and people that work at that come to stay at hostels are very colorful characters. So I just kind of go in on them a little bit. It's just mainly me bitching about my job, you know what I mean? It's mainly me bitching about my job, whilst secondarily bitching about same old issues that have made America a fucking piece of shit since its inception, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel that. It sounds like a great way to vent. I wanted to talk to you about ethnicity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty geographically just ignorant in general. Like, and so, like, what do you consider yourself? Are you Asian as well as Hawaiian? And are you Polynesian? Or
so Hawaii's part of, I believe, God, fuck if I'm wrong about this. I think Hawaii's part of Polynesia, and I'm mostly Asian, and I'm like some Hawaiian. Like low key, like I'm fucking. I could make the argument that I'm like the fucking Elizabeth Warren of fucking like Hawaiians. You know what I mean? I'm like an Elizabeth Warren Hawaiian or something. You know? But I and a lot of other people that have like, you know, like such a diluted like quote unquote blood quantum or whatever. Like we're still gonna fucking ride super hard for it, because like we're more of a tribe than a native diaspora or whatever, you know, like we'd be more like one of the tribe. If we were in the continent, we'd be more like a tribe, you know what I mean? So like, except we're a race. There's a lot of part Hawaiian folks out there, and people that I know and friends and stuff, where they could pass for like almost like they're you know pretty much completely Asian. I like to think I'm pretty fucking Asian looking, and there's a lot of folks that like that look that could be counted as like white passing and stuff like that. And be that as it may, like there's not a lot of us, you know what I mean? Like as long as they're not being fucking dumbasses and fucking like hollowing out and selling out and shit, then fucking still us, dude.
Oh, go ahead.
Half Japanese, 3/8 Chinese, 1/8 Hawaiian. Warning it up, man.
Whoa, cool. I think I might have told you actually during our last interview, but my dad is a quarter Lebanese with his grandparents like beaten. So like my whole life, like I was raised being told I wasn't white, you know? And then you become like an adult liberal, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say that shit. I'm like, look, Dad, you can say that, but like that's you know, like
exactly.
I'm passing, dude, like, you know, like
and and between like me and my friends, like all like me and my friends that like all have like part Hawaiian like ancestry and stuff like that. Like that's how pretty much how like we like between us, like we 100% you're Hawaiian, but like if someone else feels like a certain way about it, like, you know, they don't know my friend. My friend
Yeah,
don't know them.
totally.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to deny being white, because it's like being like, it's like, no, I don't work here. I just collect the checks.
Yeah.
I just take the money, man. I don't do the job. You know, like,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. Like, I had,
Yeah.
this is such a strange story, but like I was working on this loading dock overnight at the post office, just loading trucks from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. 6 days a week. And that was like, I don't know if anybody noticed, but that was the year that I disappeared and got out of debt and all this good stuff. But I was there, and it was like me and one other white dude out of like all these other people, you know?
Yeah.
And like we'd end up talking about ethnicity a lot because it was such a mixed group. And the other young people there ended up declaring that I wasn't white. And they were like, nah, dude, you're Middle Eastern. You're good.
Yeah.
I was like brown on the loading dock. And people would say something, be like, no, hey, you can't make white jokes about him. He's not included.
Yeah.
It would only happen like a overnight loading dock in Missouri, but
oh, of course, yes. That overnight shift, man. Fucking different breed. It's a different breed, man. You got to be a different breed to
different people.
Rightfully, you're a tight MC, but as far as I can see, homie, you are white to me. So when you claim Middle Eastern, I'm a disbeliever. You look like Shabian Bolinas coaching softball with some Filipino little leaguers. Instead of trying to act bigger than your actual fat figure, it's because you can't enter your mosque in West Central without being called a sandwigger. Motherfucker, you can go second, I'll rap better. You're bad-tempered because I can't tell if your ancestors were lamb shepherds or clan members.
I was interested in like your experience, like from what I've heard, just from interviews with Dumbfounded, who you mentioned and everything, who's Korean, if somebody listening doesn't know, but like having been stereotyped really early on, like 07, 08, and then that changing so much over time. Did you have that experience, or being in like the Black culture, have you always felt welcomed, or are you in between, or what does that feel like, or is and what city you're in, you know?
So currently, I mean, like, okay, so before, when I first started out, I was on some like fucking, and I was on some like, oh, hip hop's for everybody type of shit, you know what I mean? Like, and that like it can be a dicey like view to have, you know what I mean? Like depending on your actions after making that stance be known, you know what I mean? And it didn't help that I grew up in Hawaii, where it's just all Hawaiian everything, you know what I mean? Hawaiian this, Hawaiian that, you know what I mean? Like, and it's, you know, and having pride in yourself as a Hawaiian is fine, you know what I mean? But like Hawaii has like a bunch of like problematic aspects about it, like in addition to hating white people, they have this weird thing about Black people too, and like I've seen it transpire in weird ways in the Hawaii hip hop scene from like people that I had respected as like Hawaiian hip hop artists and stuff, like native Hawaiian hip hop artists, and I'm just like, oh, Cabot, whoa, and you know, like oh, Cabot, you can't call John that, you can't call Big John that, and fucking so as time went on, and as I spent more like time in the scene, like I've eventually shifted over to my current view right now, my current view of today, where I'm definitely a guest in hip hop, and it's not something that I should, take for granted. I don't have a right to be here. I am here. It's cool that I'm here. It's something to be appreciated. Hawaiians had their shit. Asian people had their shit, you know what I mean? Like to deal with, but it's not the same as the bullshit that like the African American community has had to deal with, all the things that happened to them that led to the formation of this genre of music, you know what I mean? To act like you're on the lease of that house is problematic, you know what I mean? Like, because you didn't have to hunt for like 5 different houses and like 500 different houses and get rejected from every one of them to end up in that house. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely was a little more, oh, hip hop is for everyone, altruism, but like, it ain't like that. It's not like that.
I would just have to agree, just on a personal note, like, I don't think I had a right stepping in as aggressively as I did. And I definitely put myself in spaces where I wasn't welcome and was like, fuck you.
Yep.
But like, now that I'm here, I think I'm mostly welcome. And so it's like, I'm going to stick around if that's cool. But some of the early shit you do where you're like, oh, I'm a real MC. And this is what about. Like, what is that?
That sort of problematic fucking verbiage and shit. God, fucking the connotations behind all that.
You hear these white guys out here using this super coded, like, just because these thugs, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah, triple parentheses.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, just stop right there.
There's still like coming up in Hawaii hip hop, like I heard some of that, and it was easier to digest at the time because A, I was young, and B, like, these people weren't like white, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh yeah, but then I don't know, you get older, you realize things about the world, like you realize you become more cognizant of your of your position, where you are, and what where you are means.
Like, really, you in your music and whenever you're talking, you always seem so emotionally grounded. In such position to you, like, doing this like existential crises soundtrack, like.
The existentialism, it's a healthy part of a balanced breakfast.
Yeah, well, and if you got a clear mind, you're probably wondering about some heavier shit. It's you got
definitely
time to spin the wheels.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like, that's part of what makes it so easy for me to lay things down, to compose things and lay things down, because I'm just always thinking. It's like fucking like, I guess the metaphor would be like, there's just a river right here, you know what I mean? And it's just constantly by me. It's just full of salmon all the time. And at any moment, that's as good as any moment. Bloop, salmon, boom, throw it in the bag, cook it up.
Yeah, because just always going.
Yeah, it's you just kind of reach in there and grab whatever comes out and then build off it. I would be lying if I said that music wasn't like a huge form of catharsis and stuff like that. Like, it's weird though, on the other end of it, like, it kind of like, if you roll with it too much, it kind of turns into like a crutch of sorts, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And like, where it's like, after the Brothers Gloom album and the Double Up EP, I was like, I had to make like a conscious decision to be like, okay, I need to fucking like figure something, like tweak things a little bit, you know what I mean? Because like, it's one thing to use music as a catharsis and like get all, throw some demons out, you know what I mean? But then there's also the fact that I believe that when you speak something, you kind of, whether you like it or not, you kind of speak it into existence in a way, you know what I mean? So like, if you're doing too much sad shit, you're just gonna go back to it, because it's like, it becomes natural, you know what I mean? And it becomes just like this feedback loop of fucking, I ain't shit, and then, that's not healthy. You're not gonna progress that way. So, and it's kind of like almost a contradiction, because it's like, well, you can't police like what you think, can you? Like, otherwise it's not authentic. And what's the point of making music if it's not authentic? And it's just like, I guess the solution is to stop thinking about it in terms of music and just fucking grow as a person. And that's what like, I've just kind of been on that tip for the past like year and a half or so, where I'm just like, I'll still, make my music and things like that, but try to fucking, like, instead of just like getting carried by life and fucking making whatever music comes out of that, like, just work on the person that makes the music, so that I don't have to worry about what kind of music I make.
Great note to end the podcast on.
My rainbows, my neon sign, fucking. Do you first, then the music.
Yeah. No, that's a great motto, and it's a great way to put it. And I think that a lot of people need to recognize their control over it like that. You know, take some control.
Definitely. Fucking. Oh, hey, can I put a few little shout outs and things?
Do it, old school.
Yo, hey, fucking. So watch out for Cult Baby 45 coming out next month. Me, Upgrade from upstate New York. Fucking Rob Sonic, Cool AD, fucking SM, Breakneck, features, baby. And fucking, and I guess we're gonna put out a Fat Soul EP2 or something. Check my shit out, eijikwan.bandcamp.com. That's a EIJIKWAN.bandcamp.com. Fucking YouTube demonetized me. Fucking send me hundreds and thousands of dollars to eksonAplane@gmail.com in the quarantine apocalypse. All right, that's about it.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Kelly Betz Has a Secret podcast.
Yes.
Alex, EK, thanks for joining me.
Dude, thank you for having me, man. This is fun as hell, man.
This was great.
Love, dude. Yo, be safe out there, man. You essential motherfucker, you.
Thank you. See you on the interwebs.
Yep. See you on the interwebs, bro.
Yeah.
Peace.